Alrighty, we are live on a Sunday, October 5th of the year 2025, and we are from Columbus, OH, and this is Answering Your Financial Questions with Coach Steve Money. We are live. Sorry, just some housekeeping here on the stream. Alrighty. Apologies for the light, no lack of light behind me, but if I turn on those lights, I'm very washed out. And of course, I'm the most important thing that you need to see here, obviously. At the old apartment, it was pretty dark as well, but I did have a lamp that I would put like right here, right to the side of me, and that and the white monitor that I'm looking at this chat on, that would brighten me up. And of course, I have the webcam light right there. Hi guys. And so, and the reason that I don't, where there's way too much light there, because the kitchen is very brightly lit, and that does a sufficient job of lighting all of this area here, but this area has two lights built in the ceiling as well, so it can get very bright. But of course there's no cable outlet for the internet there, so I would have to get a 50-foot or so coax cable, and also the problem is I have to get it from here. It's right here on this side. And what else are my problems? I have to run it back that way, and the problem is there are many hallways both ways. That door right there that you can see there, I think, right there. That's a mini hallway that leads to the bathroom, the laundry room, and the has the HVAC stuff in there as well, and the bedroom. I say bedroom, bathroom, and yeah. And the other one is across from it, goes out to that's my front door. So can't really have it running down on the floor level because I'll trip and hurt myself. I guess I could put like a mat over it, but anyway, that's got nothing to do with financial stuff. That's just me bitching about life not being perfect for me, but still hashtag blessed because it's a better apartment than I was living in. Alrighty, let us get to the questions. First, let me tell you who I am in case you don't know who I am. I'm Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, not just some guy. You're watching this on youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. And for my financial content, you can find that right below the Oak Island and Skinwalker Ranch playlists. And you'll see the Ramsey Show After Show there, and the Answering Your Financial Questions. Hey, that's this stream there. And also 12 Ramsey adjacent songs in the music playlist. So listen to those if you are so inclined. Perhaps you will love them as much as I do. And if you can sing them better, certainly record yourself singing it and send it to me. Maybe I'll play it on the after show at some point. Alrighty, and first, I guess there's the budget question of the day. This is from Sensitive Shallot 967. How to stash away $100 every month. Yep, don't need them. Very close to the screen. I have 3 subscriptions, none that I can really cancel. Doubt you can cancel them. Let's see what they are. Why don't you tell me what they are? A weekly car note. You can cancel that by selling it and buying a beater. And a $90 phone bill. You can switch to Mint Mobile or Visible and pay less than that. Hopefully you're not financing the phone itself with that $90. Otherwise, you're doing a lot of stuff wrong. Let's see, but I want to take singing classes. On step 2, there's no singing classes. So that's a no on that. And this person is just, this is the r/budget subreddit. And so not following Ramsey's advice specifically, but of course, I'm a Ramsey financial coach. And so, of course, I would give his advice. It's the only big purchase I want to make since I want to do covers and record my own songs. You do that after you get your 3-month emergency fund done. So you would be paying off the debt and not thinking of other stuff to do. And maybe you want to do this as possibly making extra money or something like that. But you don't spend money on that, on something like that that is not going to have like that would only be maybe in future, a long future from now, results in any money coming back into you. So that would not do it. I mean, I guess you could put your fund money in there, but fund money you should not have. If that's going to be $100 every month, that's a no. Because it doesn't say that, and in the baby steps right here, you can see it says pay off all debt except the house, using debt snowball, save up $1,000 for your start emergency fund first, and singing classes are not an emergency, so you wouldn't use that for that. And so you need to have the 3 to 6 months fully funded emergency fund as well before you would do that. So you have to do these 3 steps first before that would fly in Ramsey land. Let's see, I also figured I could trade in my previous guitar lessons for these instead, giving me even more incentive to want to try this out. Okay, if you bought them and you're not taking them and they'll let you switch, why not? But my job only pays $9.25 an hour. Get a different job where you make more money. And alongside everything else I mentioned, it's hard to get the ball rolling. Yeah, quit having things you want to do other than make your finances better. And you may think that recording your own songs and doing covers might do that, but it also might not bring any money in. So, because you might not be a good singer, and you're probably a better singer than I am. Most people are. But that's going to be a no. Plus, class registration is $75. I thought you said you could trade in your previous guitar lessons for that. So make up your mind. You're kind of being nutty here. So besides a new job, yep, and I'm acting upon that. What else could I try to not do it because it's a dumb idea while you should be concentrating on making your finances better? Because you got way too much phone bill. It should be a quarter of that if you're just paying for the phone service. It doesn't need to, and if you are financed your phone through that and you're paying that off through there, that was dumb as crap. The weekly car note, again, you can make your finances better by selling that car and buying a beater instead. It's a weekly car note. It being weekly, that sounds a little nutty to me. Like a payday loan type place where you got that car note from. Anyway, 3 subscriptions, none that you can really cancel. Yes, you can. I'm going to go ahead and call it. You can at least cancel one of those. So this person is totally delusional, maybe not in a dangerous way, but just living in their own world and not accepting reality. What you need to do is look at the reality in front of your face and you embrace it. Embrace it. And that was the budget question of the day. Boop, boop. But how you stash away $100 every month? The same way you stash away any amount of money every month. The way you pay off debts quickly, as soon as possible, the way you do any of the baby steps is you do not spend that money on anything else. Alrighty. And I forgot earlier today to get more questions from the Ramsey Baby Steps Community Facebook group because we had run out of questions on the Dave Ramsey subreddit, but here we are on reddit.com/Dave Ramsey, and that has been a while, I guess, since I stopped using those, since I ran out of questions, and so now this is 5 days ago, and there's new ones that I didn't do. So that takes care of tonight. This is, what is it? Ninja Taro. Should I create another savings account for home car repairs even though I already have 6 months of savings? I'm assuming that's your full emergency fund. And if you would consider it, all home and car repairs are not emergencies. If the car still runs but it has a dent in it, that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So that doesn't need to be repaired in baby steps 1, 2, and 3. Let's see what the text of it is to see if that changes anything. It never does. I just completed having 6 months of savings. Okay, and that would be called your full emergency fund, as it says right here, just so we can keep track of, person to Ramsey verbiage here, nomenclature. See, it says save 3 to 6 months of expenses in a fully funded emergency fund, and you keep saying, what is it? Savings. Whoops, wrong one. That one over there. 6 months of savings and 6 months of savings is what we're calling it. It shouldn't be 6 months of saving because you didn't save 6 months for it. Hopefully you got it together faster than that. It's not 6 months of savings. It's savings. It's your full emergency fund, but it's 3 to 6 months of your expenses. Don't have any debt aside from my mortgage. I know that I'll have upcoming repairs in both my house and car. Maybe not. You have upcoming maintenance for sure, but how do you know that something's going to break on it? I mean, probably eventually, over the next 10 years, sure. Maybe even over the next 5 years, probably, more than likely, something's going to break on both of those. Maybe multiple things, but you don't know about them, so you don't plan for that kind of thing. You don't plan for that while you should be doing baby step 1, 2, and 3 instead. Well, you already done that, so actually you can. Actually, you can. You can set a budget line item for savings for that, but you really shouldn't be doing that because the problem, here's the problem, is that you're not done after step 3. You need to be doing step 4, 5, and 6. And you can't really do that and also save money for a bunch of things that might come up that you don't know for sure are going to happen. So you wouldn't do that. If the car breaks and doesn't run, you can't run it. You can't drive it. Then that can be considered an emergency, and you use your emergency fund for that. That's an emergency, right? If it's a dent on the side of it, that's not an emergency. So, and it's the same thing with the house. If the sink, my favorite is to say the sink is leaking. You fix the sink leaking, but you don't remodel the bathroom while you're at it. So you don't do that because your money, the bulk of your money, extra money, needs to be other than expenses and investing. That's part of where some of your money is going. If you have kids and you want to help them, Part of it would be going to step 5, saving for your kid college. And step 6, pay off your mortgage early. So you got to have money to do all that, so you don't save for things that you don't know are definitely going to happen. Probably they will. But again, if it's an emergency, you're covered by your emergency fund. And, you can see on here, it does not say save 3 to 6 months of expenses in a fully funded emergency fund, plus save for whatever things you think might happen. Doesn't say that on there. I should just pop that right there. Yeah. So that answer is going to be a no on that. I mean, if you want to start a sinking fund for the car maintenance, at least you could do that, and you could use the maintenance money if a car emergency comes up before hitting the emergency fund. So you could do that, but the amount of money that you put there is going to take away from steps 5 and 6 if those are applicable to you. Which the mortgage one is, you need to be paying that off. That's also why you don't invest more than 15%. Nope, wrong one. I need to just get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of that. There we go. So yeah, but if you need that to be in a different savings account to keep you from mixing up money, making mistakes with spending it, then you can do that. It's fine. Or do I just pull out my 6 month when they happen and put more money back in when I do need to repair something? Yes, you would do that. But again, that's not going to be for something cosmetic, because something cosmetic is not an emergency. So you would have to set up another sinking fund for that. Or a sinking fund at all. Emergency fund is not a sinking fund. Rex spikes. Okay. What is the best option? Probably to not do any of the dumb crap you're thinking about doing. Now, let's see. If you had $20,000 to invest for the next 15 years, which would generate greater long-term wealth, buying a house or investing in the S&P 500, and why? Too many variables to do the math on that. You'd have to do some research to maybe estimate the variables, but the variables would be how much houses go up in your area and specifically on that street of the house you're thinking about buying. And if you're thinking about flipping a house, that is not for the weak at heart. That is not going to be advised just to do that as a temporary investment. That's not going to be advised by Mr. Ramsey. But investing in the S&P 500, if you have 5 years and you said you got 15, then that's fine to do the S&P 500. And especially if this is going to be for purchase, this $20,000 of future purpose, Mr. Ramsey does put it in a brokerage account in an S&P 500 index fund. And he puts all his real estate money in that. So, and he takes it out when he wants to buy some real estate. And the time he buys a real estate is when, not just because he feels like he needs to invest, but when it's a super great deal for him, which is how you should do it too. But also, you ain't gonna believe this. The $20,000 to invest for the next 15 years. If you are on steps 1 or 2 or 3, or even steps 4, 5, and 6. So unless you're in step 7, you don't do that. You apply that 20,000, you invest the 20,000 in making your finances better, which is to apply it to the baby steps instead of trying to do some financial bro crap with it. Decent bit, 10 16, excuse me, 31. I had to move my monitor over a little bit. I guess I could have moved my body over too, but that's all right. I can see it. Hey guys, I'm a student abroad in Asia. Currently have a student loan of $2,400 US, which will start gaining interest January 1st of next year. It would be better to create a $1,000 emergency fund instead of pay back loan immediately, right? Yes. Because just like almost everything you can ask a question about, it is answered by the baby steps. Hey, look, it says step 1, save $1,000 for start emergency fund. It doesn't say pay off debt first. That's not step 1. Step 1 is save $1,000, start an emergency fund. That $1,000 is so that when an emergency happens, you don't have to use a freaking credit card and go into more debt. That's what that $1,000 is for. And no, it shouldn't be 1 cent over $1,000. It's not supposed to take care of everything. It's supposed to keep you from using a credit card for small emergencies. And if you use that $1,000 for an emergency, it better darn well be for an actual emergency. And then you pause on the paying off debt extra. You still have to pay minimums to all the lenders. But you get that back to $1,000 instead of paying extra on the debt. People are nutty. So yeah, but you have understood it correctly. That yes, you do step 1 before step 2. Steps 1, 2, and 3, as it says on the ticker below. 1, 2, and 3 are done in order, one at a time, without doing any of the other steps at the same time. And steps 4, 5, and 6 are all together done at the same time, but in that priority order. So if you take all your extra money that you were previously building your $1,000 with, paying off your debt with, and previously building your full emergency fund with, now once you're on step 4, you don't have anywhere for that money to go. Mr. Ramsey has thought about that for you to continue to make your finances better. He developed step 4, 5, and 6. That's the 15% of investing. It said 15% of your gross income. Do investing for retirement. Save for kid college, and to pay out the house early. And that happens before you do any other extra investing. Everybody, very financial bro of them, but everybody seems to have a brokerage account and extra investing when they shouldn't be doing that. Even if they say they're following the Ramsey advice. No, they're not. Looking for every dollar guidance. I don't use it. I tried it. Like the spreadsheet better because it can do exactly what I want it to do. Headline I need. Okay. Looking for every dollar guidance. I just started using every dollar around September 20th. I got everything added into the app. Here's my issue. I've stupidly been going negative each check to stupid things like eating out. Stop it. It's stupid. You understand the problem, so you just stop it. If you can't make yourself stop, then you need professional help. You need counseling. Time to be an adult and stop doing stupid things. As soon as I am paid, the negative balance is paid. I started October. Well, then you don't make it go negative again. Quit being a dumbass is the advice here. Started October off negative 500. $500? Is that all eating out? That's prime dumbass stuff you're doing there for sure. Then if all that's eating out, my goodness gracious me. Where are we? Have about 400 in a high yield savings account for emergencies. You should have $1,000. Okay, you're doing it wrong. Have you not glanced at the baby steps? Again, still got it highlighted here just for your dumbass, apparently. It says save $1,000, restart emergency fund, and that's what you should be doing with money. Also, instead of using it to eat out, stop your dumb crap. It's not going to get better until you become an adult and stop doing your dumbass crap. Let's see, where are we? I have about $400 in a high yield savings account for emergencies. It should be $1,000, and you should not eat one out one time until that's $1,000. And then you still shouldn't be eating out while you're paying off any dumbass debt that you have. My question is, I put the $500 in as a budget line item for the month. No, you shouldn't. That shouldn't be in your budget. Don't do that. You were saying that it's stupid, so I assume you don't want to do it really anymore, but you can't help yourself. When my check showed in transactions, I split $500 from the $2,200 and put the rest into income paycheck line item. It still says I have $500 remaining from my check, because you did it wrong, apparently. How would I properly do that? Not do that, not account for the $500 at all, because you should be spending it with the rest of your income on the baby steps. Regular expenses, and then attacking the baby steps with it. Why don't you understand that? Oh, do I want to? No, never mind. Because, specifically with every dollar, I don't know anyway, so no need to read the rest of it. But that's the basic idea of it, though. You need to quit being stupid and stop doing that. So that's not. So the issue is not every dollar and what you did in every dollar. The issue is that you're doing the dumb crap you were doing in every dollar, trying to separate it out. That's dumb as crap. Martin Cope. Investment accounts for adult children, different amounts. What are we doing here? People are nutty. Maybe it's not something nutty. We'll see. But I feel like for me, a lot of times it is, because you would not be doing this until you were in step 7 anyway. I have 2 grown kids, 6.5 years apart. I started investing for both of them when they were younger. Same amount, in parentheses, the S in parentheses, would go in each account, but different investment choices that eventually resulted in an imbalance that I didn't give too much thought to until recently. Oh boy, did you screw up then if they have to be the same. Now looking at it, the older kid is at 41K and the younger one is at 30K. Okay. Well, also, did you wait and start them at the same time? Or did you start the one for the older kid earlier, because that would also make it have more in there probably? In addition to you using different, so that you made a problem for yourself. But what you can do is just split the difference. My thought is if the older one had the same 30K account balance 6.5 years ago, the same age as the younger one now, that $30 would be over 60K plus. Now, assuming it would be invested in an index fund, what's it invested in? Is it not? Is it invested in dumbass single stocks that don't make as much as the index? So my question is, what would you do? Looking back, I should have taken the balance of both, did the proper calculation considering ages, divided appropriately, and moved on, but I didn't. Thanks in advance. That's a good question. It's dumb as crap the way you did it, like you said. But what you can do, if you want it to be the same for both of them, you need to save up 30K, or not 30K. You need to save up 11K for the difference. and put it in the younger ones if you want both of theirs to be the same right now. Okay. Or you can do the math and figure out, you know, because maybe the younger one doesn't get the advantage of having had the account start earlier. So, I mean, I'll basically, all of this dumb crap is up to you. You can just make it be the same amount. But probably the easiest thing to do probably would be you put 11,000 of your money, which you should have if you're doing dumb stuff like this. You should not be having a house payment still. You should be on step 7, as I said. And so you would put 11K out of your non-emergency fund savings into there, and then they'd both be at 41%, and then you make both of the investments the same in both accounts, and then they'll grow the same. Or you can say, this is how I did it. It was pretty dumb, and this is how it happened. And also, are they going to call each other or text each other and say how much they got? I mean, because it's not a law that you have to give either of them anything. So basically, this is your dumbass playground. And so you get to decide the rules on it, but they don't need to do that. They don't need to be the exact same amount. Older kid gets more because you started investing earlier. In addition to, you know, check to see what the investments are. If the investments aren't as good in the younger one, or vice versa, then change it out in the other one, dumbass. You can sell, and well, they're not there. It's just a brokerage account. So, but you can sell. It won't be a tax. Yeah, it will be a tax event on the growth. I think it will be. Or is it? No, see, I don't even know that. I don't even know that because I don't do brokerage accounts. I don't have much experience with them. So I don't know actually. If you sell the investments but keep it in the account and put them in new investments, I don't think that counts. I don't think that creates a tax event because you're not taking it out of there. You're not realizing. Well, actually, when you sell them, you are realizing the gain. So actually, I do think that would be a tax event. Now, I don't know. That's a good question. I will look that up. But regardless, it's up to you. Whatever you want to do here, because none of this is Ramsey advice. Especially if you're not in step 7. If you're in step 7, you can do investment accounts for your kids to give them extra money. And add on a football field, Washington Commanders got back in the winning ways today in the City of Angels, beating Los Angeles Chargers and Coach Jim Harbaugh. Chargers got out to a 10-0 lead, and then Washington scored 27 straight, and Chargers scored an additional donut, meaning 9. So that was fun. Mean Fig 501, pay off small credit cards or 401k loan. Pay off small. Okay, I'm not even going to read this. Let's just refer to the baby steps here. Baby step 2, pay off all debt except the house using the debt snowball. And I don't know what debt snowball is. I guess I'll never know. I can't Google it or even click on learn more here. Look at this. List your debts from smallest to largest. That must be what the debt snowball is. So look, we found out. Or you could just Google it if you can't be asked to click on that and then read through the extra explanation. Baby step 2. So I feel like for me, the small credit cards are going to be smaller amounts than the 401k loan. Jury's up on what the stupidest thing was, if it was the credit cards or the 401k loan. Probably the 401k loan. That was very dumb of you to do. I'm on baby step 2, and I've come into a small amount of money that could pay off 7 small credit card balances. That would be it. Ding, 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 we have a winner. Or my 401k loan. Total money in hand is $8,500. My overall credit debt is $58,000. I know I should go with paying towards the credit cards since that is baby step 2. But the loan would free up more money monthly to put towards those credit cards. So that's a no. You're trying to fix your finances with better math than you used when you got into all this debt. So don't do that. The loan payment is more than the credit minimums as the interest. I don't give a crap about any of that. Okay, the way that it works best is if you get more wins faster, and you get more wins faster if you get rid of all 7 of those credit card balances. And hopefully that's 7. Hopefully that's all of your credit card balances, and then the credit cards will be gone, and then you should never, ever, ever use them again. You close them, cut them up, etc., etc. No string 2494. Question on selling a new car to purchase cheaper used. The answer is yes. Do that. If that was the question, whether to do that. Let's see. Hi everyone. Hi guys. I'm looking to reduce total debt while shifting dollars aside to my emergency fund. Okay. Curious what right? And you can do that at the same time. Any extra money putting to the emergency fund. It should only be the $1,000 emergency fund. You don't save 1 cent extra above that $1,000. Because all that money needs to go to step 2, your debt. Curious what the sub would recommend as the best course of action for the situation below. I owe $33,200 on a new car I purchased back in May. Interest rate 3.9%. That doesn't matter at all. People insist on telling you though. Pricing out Carvana or CarMax, I can get around $26K for the car, which leaves me with a negative equity of $7,200. I got $48K in savings. And this is where I need your help. Should I? 1. Oh, good. It has different things. And it's not going to be any of the things in your list. I guarantee you it's not going to be any. We'll see. We'll see if I'm right about that. And then I'll go and explain everywhere where you're out of your gourd wrong on this. Should I? 1, pay off the new car completely and leave the remainder in an emergency fund while having the security of a new car I'll keep for 10 years. Saving it. I'm saving it. I want to talk about it immediately, but I'll save it. Sell the car at $26K, pay the negative equity, and then purchase a car in the $19 to $20K range. This would net me an additional $5K. I'd be able to sink in an emergency fund. No, you wouldn't. Couldn't help it. Had to interject. Put the emergency fund in a high-yield savings account and keep the 3.9% loan given I can afford it monthly. Works out to about 3% of my monthly net income. And that's bullcrap too. You don't debt leverage. This whole thing is about stopping debt and stopping debt leverage. You're doing it wrong. Okay, and here's everything you are incorrect about. Incorrect. The interest rate matters a flip. It does not. Getting it from Carvana or CarMax, $26K, you are better off getting a Kelley Blue Book individual sale. You're selling it to a person instead of a business, a car dealership, because guess what? What is the car dealership trying to do when they buy that car from you for $26K? What are they trying to do? They're trying to make money when they resell it. So quit being a dumbass. and you do private sale, is what that's called in Kelley Blue Book. And you take the time, you put in the effort, because that doesn't cost you extra money. It just costs you extra effort that you have to put it in to list the car somewhere where an individual can buy it and give you more money, which is better than you taking it to Carvana or CarMax. So that's wrong as well. Also, 48. Where's the 48K savings come in there? So again, you do have debt, right? So you're would be on step 2 if you were doing it correctly, but you're not. I don't know what you're doing. So you're not really on any step because you're doing it wrong. Again, step 1 says save $1,000. Why do we have $48,000 in the start emergency fund? And why are you continuing to put money in it every month? Why are you continuing to do that? That's dumb as crap. What don't you understand about the advice? I mean, did you just decide to start following the advice and look at the baby steps maybe one time and like, oh, okay, I got it. Like thinking you're supposed to do them all at the same time, which is how you ended up with $48,000. You should have $1,000 in savings total, period. All the rest of that money goes to the debt. Now, what you can do, you're in a position where you can get rid of this dumbass new car that you bought and reduce the debt instead of having to pay it back. So, I mean, basically, as long as you can pay all your debt off in 3 years, that's what the Ramsey advice is before you have to start selling cars and houses and things like that. So you can take it out of this 40K and pay it off if you really like it. But it depends on what the other debt you have is. Does you have other debt? Doesn't say what other debt there is. So I don't know. Maybe the car is the only debt. I do not know. So that would be more. But still, going down to $20,000 range, you can get one cheaper than that works. So you don't need to do that, but you could sell the car and get as much as you can and pay the negative equity, and you then buy a beater, and then you would still be in better shape for that. Of course, people say, no, you have too many problems with the other car. You could have problems with this brand new car too. An additional $5,000 I'd be able to sink in emergency fund. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to be paying off your debt, even if it is only this dumbass new car that you bought. Put the emergency fund in a high yield savings account and keep the 3 point. Again, that's debt leverage. If you put an high yield savings account and get 5, that doesn't make it okay to keep a loan that it's 3.9%. That is a no. You also don't keep your mortgage around like it's a pet, as Mr. Ramsey says, and do extra investing because the investing makes more than the interest rate on the mortgage. That's a no, no, and a no again. And if you don't like that, fine. Why are you on the Dave Ramsey subreddit? Because you're not doing anything Dave Ramsey style, as far as I can tell. You think you are, and that makes you very dangerous. You're the most dangerous type. You're very nutty, sir or madam. Disastrous pipe 9282. First credit card paid off. Excellent. Oh, somebody understands it. Great. Paid off my lowest credit card today. Next card has about a $300 balance. Excellent. Oh, $300 is pretty low. They must be doing smallest to largest. I wonder how they knew to do that. Because they're smarter than that other dumb. Anyway. Commercial sorbet 309. Interesting. User ID. Why is the mouse doing that? Maybe I used the wrong mouse. Maybe an old mouse that I switched out previously, but no, did I throw it away? No, I didn't. Financial advisors. Most financial advisors seem to specialize in managing investments or selling some product like whole life insurance. are there people who specialize in helping you budget and coaching for reducing / controlling, like financial fitness trainers? B must be an accident there, typo. Where do I find one? Do they have some kind of association? So you see, are there people that specialize in helping you budget and coaching? It would be a financial coach is what you're looking for. And you can get one of those from the Ramsey website, one of those in your area, so you can see them in person. So you can be referred to, they'll refer you to several. You know, I mean, I guess you're limited up to how many are in your city or a nearby city, maybe even as well. And then you can meet with several of them and see if they're actually following Dave's advice, because some of them, unfortunately, are not. So yeah. But yeah, financial advisor is going to be more like the managing investment type. Odd solution, $69.95. What am I missing? I would be glad to tell you. Maybe I did this one. Let's see. That sounds like, actually, a bunch of them say like something like, what am I missing? Let's see, solution 6995. The user ID doesn't seem familiar. I'm a laid off federal contractor, completely out of money, and the pittance I'm getting from unemployment is nowhere near enough to take care of bills. I've sold off game consoles, furniture, and other items I bought during better times. I'm giving plasma twice a week. I'm applying for jobs daily. Apply for some you think you're better than. I've quit eating out. Great. Should have stopped that on day one. Buying frivolous items. Again, stopping that on day one of your unemployment. Going out in general, except to job fairs and interviews and the plasma center. Great. Put up my home office in anticipation of getting a roommate. Great. You could also move to a cheaper housing. Are there other good ways to stop the bleeding I missed? No, get a job. One that you think you're better than. Even fast food or anything. In Virginia, I used to live in Virginia. I didn't have any problem getting a job whenever I wanted one. Any part-time work counts against unemployment, so a part-time job is disincentivized. Yes, that's how the freaking government works when they give you free money. And regardless, I have been rejected from Starbucks, GameStop, Macy's, and others. Try more. Try fast food. I don't see fast food in that list. So try fast food, and you can still continue to look for a job, a different job while you're working there. So that would be how you stop the bleeding. There's no magic involved. You need to make it happen. There's no government thing that's gonna put you back on the path. So you need to get rid of your reliance on government. Since you're a government worker, I would imagine most of those certainly believe in, oh, government should control everything and they help everybody. No, they don't. No, they don't. If they wanted to help people, they wouldn't have the free benefits that they give out, putting you in handcuffs for making extra money too. That would be a help. Instead of limiting what you can make so you get the money that they give you, that is dumb as crap. So, and of course, you got fired from them, I guess, or government shutdown or something. So I don't know. Or you got doged. Possibly they eliminated your position, which they need to do with probably about half of the government employees. Probably don't need to be there. Just spending the taxpayers' money for no reason. Consistent guide 258. Am I investing enough? Update. Thank you for all the responses. More info that was requested. Okay, let me open the whole thing and then we'll go back to the update. Original text. Here we go. I'm currently living debt free, including mortgage. Excellent. I'm in a public pension, which takes 12% of my pay for the employee contribution. Great. That counts as 6% towards the 15 because your pension doesn't make nearly as much as the market makes. So the stock market I'm talking about. So that only counts as 6%. So you need to be investing another 9% of my pay for the employee contribution between a 459 and a Roth. I'm investing approximately 8% of my wife's and I gross pay. Okay. Anyway, okay, 459 is educational, a state-run educational investing account for a child, I'm assuming. The Roth IRA would be also for yours. So yeah, but you don't do 8% in both of them. Again, you need to be putting 9% in the Roth by yourself, not including the wife. Between the two of you, there needs to be 15% of your gross pay, of your household gross pay needs to equal what is being invested. And again, since you're doing 12% here, that unfortunately is not worth 12%. That's only worth 6% towards the 15%. We own 2 cars that are each over 10 years old and will need replaced. Okay, in the English language, it is will need to be. People love to leave out the to be for some reason. Within the next 3 to 5 years. No, you don't know that. You don't know they'll need to be replaced in 3 to 5 years. I love it when people just make stuff up so they can do what they want to do. You just want to replace it. They won't need to, so you forgot the to be part of it, but the need part was wrong as well. Leaving out the to be, wrong. But also you saying need is incorrect. You want to do it. I have 2 questions. Am I investing enough considering the 12% I'm forced to pay for a pension? No, as I explained, that only counts as 6% because the pension doesn't produce as much as the market would in managed mutual funds that make more than the indexes. And should I save heavily to pay cash for car replacements instead of maxing out my Roth IRAs? You need to be doing the 15% of gross income. And the 12% only counts as 6%. So you're doing it wrong. You're not even doing enough with this 8% because some of it's going in the 459. And some of it's from your wife's money. And she needs to be doing. So a lot of people mess up this math too. It's not 15% of wife's plus 15% of husband's equals 30% of household income. 15 plus 15 equals 15 in that scenario. Because it's a percentage of that. It's 15% of your money, 15% of her gross pay, and that together equals 15% of household. That's how that works. So you're having a problem understanding, I can see. And should I save heavily to pay for a car? No, you don't do that. You don't even start saving for that. No, you don't do that. If it breaks and it's an emergency, then you use your full emergency fund for that. But you don't know when it will need replaced, as you typed in correctly. So, and it's not maxing out the Roth IRA isn't the question. The question is whether you're investing enough. Oh, you have one. Oh, it looks like there's 2 Roth IRAs. So maybe you have 1 each then. Okay. And that's fine. But again, it needs to be, she needs to be doing 15% and you do too. And that means you're doing 12 in your pension. and then you're doing another 9, because that only counts for 6. You're doing another 9% of your gross income for yourself. So both of you should be doing 15%. I do have 6-month emergency fund, right? But would like a bigger slush fund to fund future large expenses. No. No. Oh, wait a minute. No, they're on step 4. I mean, they're on step 7. Debt free, including mortgage. Once you are doing the right thing on step 4, see, it says invest 15% of your household income. That means all of your money combined, 15% of that should be going, plus another 9% because you're in a sucky ass pension. And so that's just the way it works. It doesn't make as much as the market does. And that's another problem with government, because all of those use pensions. But bigger slush fund, yeah, you can do as much saving as you want. Sorry, forgot momentarily. You are in step 7 theoretically. Doesn't say in step 7. Oh, and we got to read the update too. Doesn't stay step 7. Maybe it'll say it in the update. But yeah, there generally is no slush fund. We still want to be intentional with money. Not, let's save money just in case we want to buy something. Now, if there was any step you could do that on, that would be step 7. And so I won't be too upset with you if that's the case. Here's some more info that requested savings, 25K. Okay, assuming that's the emergency fund. Roth IRA, it doesn't matter how much is in there already. None of that matters. It might to financial bros that are asking questions on this site, but it does not matter for what you would be doing. Actually, it does. On step 7, you can also invest more. But again, you want to get the minimum 15% taken care of first, which you're not doing yet. Provide some plan deferred comp, approximately 160K, contributing 250 per paycheck. Okay, pension should be worth 65 to 70K a year based on my highest average over 5 years. 65 or 70K. It depends on how much you have invested. Depends on how much you have invested in there, and you also have to pay tax on that as well. Since I don't think you pay taxes on what you put into a pension. I don't know about that either. I'll have to check on that if I remember. But I think how pensions work is you get that money put in tax free, and so you have to pay taxes when you take that pension money out, I think. I'm saving $600 a month in cash to rebuild savings from paying off house. Okay, and that's fine too. You shouldn't have used emergency fund to do that. Why did you have that much in savings? Well, you shouldn't have done that if you were following the Ramsey advice, but taking it out of there and paying the house off would be getting back on track with the Ramsey advice though. My current plan is to build that to 35 to 40K, then max out at least one IRA with the 600 I'm putting the savings. See, you're thinking about your own little crap that you want to do more than following the baby steps advice. And that would be the problem here. I would have cash for car replacement without dipping below a 6-month emergency fund. Right, and that's fine. First, get the investing right, and then knock yourself out. You're on step 7. You can do any dumb crap with money you want to do, and having extra savings, that is not the dumbest thing you could do with it, because that way when you need, or actually in your case it'll probably be want when you replace it, then you have the money to do that. So that's fine. And on step 7, you can do that. Now, if I were to find out in your update here, which I didn't, that you have some step 2 debt or some other crap, who knows what it would be? I don't know. But I would be very mad. I would be blood red mad. be looking and I'd be seeing the blood. Yeah, but yeah. So just not doing it correctly is what you're doing. But where you are financially now, that's a decent place to be starting from, where you just have to fix the investing to make sure it's enough. And then once that's completely fixed, then you worry about investing extra. And then you worry about any extra savings you want to do to buy a car. And that priority order on those two things is fine, but step 4 is an actual baby step. So I would get that right first and then be on step 7. But right now, you're doing it wrong. Optimal being $34.95. Did we make the right move? Pausing 401k to crush HELOC? Yes, because HELOC is step 2. And so you should not be doing any investing while you're on step 2. Or while you're on step 3 for that matter. So everybody that has any kind of step 2 debt, from the time even if you don't have $1,000 for your starter emergency fund, that is when you start pausing 401k or any investments at all. Partner and I, boop, boop, boop. If it's a spouse, that's fine, but otherwise you should not be combining stuff. We're living together. Get married. Got a great idea. Get married. Got ourselves into a pickle a few years back during a gut rehab. Hey, got a great idea. Don't do a gut rehab of your house, because you took equity out of your house to try to make your house better, and now you owe more money on it. That was dumb as crap. Long story short, we bought a lemon in a high cost of living area. Good schools. Here's the situation. That was dumb as crap too. And you shouldn't have bought a house together. Mortgage, low rate. I choose. Doesn't matter. Super favorable, and we plan to make this our forever home, even though it was a lemon. Well, I guess if you did that gut rehab, I guess it's a brand new house now, right? Thought we opened a home equity loan, but it was actually a HELOC. Rookie mistake. We didn't ask enough questions. I don't think that's two different things. I mean, I guess it could be. The HELOC is home equity line of credit. And I guess a home equity loan, if they are two different things, that would be they just loan it to you, and if you don't pay it back, then they'll just take your house. Which they will also do if you don't pay the HELOC back as well. So I don't know for sure that there's two things. I do know what a HELOC is. I have personally not heard of a home equity loan, but I'm assuming that's the way it would go. They don't do anything. They just have your house as collateral if you don't pay it back. But either way, do you think Mr. Ramsey would be fine with that? No. The time you access your home equity would be when you sell the house. And it's going to be your forever home, so you're not going to sell it, so you don't do that dumbass crap. We were also blinded by insane credit card debt because your dumbass bought stuff with credit cards. And bills coming in for contractors. That's because you hired contractors. This is all your dumbass fault. Rehab plus credit card debt plus contractor bills equals blinded by debt at the time. ... I don't give a crap. You were dumb. You were a dumbass. But pausing 401k now, yeah, that's how you get back to it. And you don't unpause it until you get to step 4, which means you don't have a full emergency fund now. That goes down to $1,000, and you also put that towards the HELOC. Or is it also blinded by insane blinded by debt at the time? That was still dumb. Dumb to do that much. I mean, I did debt as well, but nowhere near the amounts that you guys did. That was so dumb. But doing it right now, and that's the way you do that, is you stop investing before you get, because you're not on step 4. You only invest on step 4. And that's just retirement investing. There's no extra investing until step 7. Alrighty. Okay, there should be a Ramsey show after show tomorrow morning. Planning on it at least. That is in the schedule below on the ticker. Let me reset that bad boy. Once again, if you want to know what dumbass things you're doing, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me by emailing coachstevemoney@gmail.com, and we can work out a time, and that will happen by video conferencing, unless you're in Columbus, Ohio. Then we can do it in person. Donations can go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney, to alternatively the Cash App, $CoachSteveMoney, or Walmart gift card to that same email address, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Upcoming streams, as always, subject to change. The Ramsey show, the Ramsey show after show. Too many shows in there. Ramsey show after show is what it's called. 11:05 a.m. Eastern time, and that's when the YouTube Ramsey show ends. And that is scheduled for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, October 6th, 8th, and 10th. And night streams, 8 p.m. Eastern time, answering your financial questions is what it's called. And that is planned for Sunday. That's the one I'm doing right now, just ending right now. And also Tuesday and Thursday, October 7th and 9th. Alrighty, thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, like the video, please. That's the thumbs up, and comment. And of course, if you've done those things already, thank you so very much. And as always, make smart, not dumbass. Make smart. See, it doesn't say make dumbass financial decisions here. It says make smart financial decisions every day.